we've known each other for about 5 or 6 years now, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we met through obviously music, and Guy was in a band before and I was doing a solo thing, and we both really connected from kind of way back when, really, and we'd always been good friends and lived quite close to each other. And so about 3 years ago we started this whole project from just kind of having a bit of spare time, and then Guy would invite me over and I'd go around and we'd collaborate and write a song. And Flicks was actually the first song that we ever wrote together.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of our whole project.
Why are we called Frou Frou?
Well, there's many reasons that it could be, but I think it comes from, well, the Frou Frou actually translates as the sound that makes men go wild, which I like personally. Hope that works.
Yeah, it's meant to be, I think, like in the Moulin Rouge, when the can-can dancers were like swirling their skirts. That sound was the swishing sound was Frou Frou. It's curious how I came to meet Björk. I was working. I knew Talvin Singh, who Talvin and me been played on this record with this Japanese pop star, and then we'd come back from Tokyo, and Talvin went off to Bombay to record some strings for Venus as a Boy, Björk's song, and then Björk had just finished that album, and she sort of thought, okay, we have to put a band together. And so the first attempt at a band was her, me, and Talvin, and then we probably figured that, you know, vocals, you know, keyboard and tabla was a bit too limiting, so we gradually filled it out with more people, and that was the start of it, figuring out how to gig debut. And then I went on to MD, the second album, and, you know, write a song on the third one, and, you know, keep the involvement with her since then, and it's been wicked. I produced this album by this band called Mandalay, which seemed to disappear without a trace very quickly over here. I think in total it sold something like 5,000 copies, and very luckily for me, one of the 5,000 people who bought a copy was Madonna, and she really liked my production on one of their songs, so that was kind of how my in was with, you know, the Queen of Pop, and that was just fantastic. And I played her our stuff, which she was a fan of, you know, so I'm very honoured. I was a massive fan of Kate Bush, and I thought, like, I don't know, Wuthering Heights was one of the most strange records ever to be a #1 record. It's just bizarre, really, and it's just fantastically spirited Baroque fantasy that this woman had, and I just love what she's done. I've always found that a lot of these women artists have just pushed things out far more than 4 guys in a transit van, you know, sort of come out of the pub and just rock out. I mean, that's okay. I mean, I love guys who do it well, but I find it a bit more limiting than when I listen to, I don't know, what Joni Mitchell did at her best, where, you know, the lyrics could just be in a book of poems and would stand up on their own right. The music is kind of like genius. The production is really unorthodox, you know, and I think you get that with Kate Bush. You know, I'd say you get it with Björk.
Music and me have just always been like that. I've never been able to separate myself from playing the piano, singing. Just everywhere I go, it's always the story of my life has just been through music, like through meeting people and just, you know, club culture and playing with bands and touring around the world, and, you know, my childhood's just been music, really. I like all kinds of music. I'm really getting into like the Warp label, probably a bit too late, but I'm really loving kind of Aphex Twin and just really mad techno program psycho music at the moment. But it's the greatest feeling, isn't it? Once you get an idea that you know is the way forward, and you're like, that's it. I can see it clearly now. Right, great. Give me pen, paper, now. You just have to get it out, and maybe it'll take few months to get to the final product, but it's that first feeling of, wow, we've really on something good here, and we're seeing it and we just want to make it happen. I think we've both had to give up control because, you know, it's a very equal thing, and it was difficult in the beginning to do that, but it's been very rewarding, and it's just great to be able to feel like you can collaborate with somebody because I was a bit nervous of it in the beginning. And just the honesty. I mean, it's very important. Like, we keep having to look at the lyrics and go, but do we really mean that?
Yes,
Because
and
we're
would
gonna
you
have to
really
live with
say
that?
that?
And would you really say that?
You know,
So,
it's very important that, because, you know, like, it's easy to fill up lyrics with this kind of pop song speak, things that people only say in pop songs and they never ever say in real life.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I think we're